crap, what's going on? Alright. Let's see this. Wow. Wow. Alright. Work with what we got here. We got some liquidity down here at the 980 kind of level. Let's see, 980. Got a big stack of liquidity right there. Doesn't look bad. Got some more liquidity down there. Here. At that 931 level. Actually, I'm gonna move it down just because it's so close to this liquidity. Guess I'll move that down. Or I'll do 2, whatever. I'll do 2 there, just so I know that there's stacked liquidity. That's pretty much it as far as. Let's see. Let's go to the 1 minute. Wow, it's still pushing. It's freaking upside. Alright, let's go. Let me see something real quick. Are those all-time highs? Hold on. We're still at all-time highs, you son of a gun. What the? Bruh. This is the second day in a row. Leave. Man, we gotta get away from those all-time highs. Freaking sucks. All right. Still. Dude, bro, we're still at all-time highs. That's wild. I think Trump is talking at 11 today, which we'll see. Hopefully, I'll probably be off by 11. But today's what? Thursday, Wednesday. Let's see, Forex. Um. 11:15 Trump talks. Other than that, we don't have much news. Trading NQ futures, Nasdaq. This is the NQ chart, Nasdaq. The micros, though. All right, Wednesday, 10:30. Okay. We really got no news today. Let's see what happens. These are all-time highs. I kind of want to get away from all-time highs. I prefer this liquid. If we could tap into that liquidity down there, it'd be really nice. Tap into this 983 level. Ugh, if it gets there. That would be like right at view op too, which would be nice. I really like this level right here. I really like this 984 level. It's right at view op, so if we could get down there, you know, tap liquidity and then start kind of reversing off view op 2 would be really nice to take a long off of. But, you know, I'm not going to long off of all-time highs. Got to wait for the pullback to give you a better entry. Appreciate the likes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see what happens here. Where do I learn the lingo vocab from trading platform? Do I need to get started? I mean, you just learn it from, I would say, YouTube. There's a lot of trading content on YouTube. That's where you would learn the lingo from. But platform wise, I use Ninja Trader. Ninja Trader is good. And I would just go with a platform and do simulated trading at first to kind of figure out a strategy. And a lot of platforms use simulated trading, so, but the platform I use is Ninja Trader, so I mean, it works good. Trading View, people use Trading View. Trading Views, I heard it's a good platform. I've never used it, but a lot of people use Trading View for charting, and then like Ninja Trader to execute their trades and stuff. So, bro, this price. Does it cost anything to use? I don't think so. I don't think so. Usually you could do like a simulated account, and if they do, I mean, you could just put a couple bucks in there if they do require like some money in there. But yeah, you should be able to do like a simulated account. I mean, or you can really go with the prop firm route, right? But I mean, it's like, so prop firm route, like for example, like Apex, you can buy an evaluation account for like $33. As long as you're in the valuation, you pay 33 bucks a month. If you pass that valuation to go into a funded, then you have to pay an activation fee of $140. But if you're in the evaluation phase, I mean, but yeah, my recommendation would be, yeah, start simulated trading, figure out a strategy before you go to prop firms, because you don't want to just be wasting money. Can you do that? I would not recommend Robinhood. I wouldn't recommend Robinhood because Robinhood's not really like a trading, like a day trading platform. You can't really chart too much on there. It's just like a kind of like a buy something and hold platform. It's that you can't really like do any real charting on there. All right, is this thing gonna start reversing? I hope so. Because there's like nothing to do up here. No problem, no problem. Hopefully this thing can start reversing, because we need to get away from all-time highs. If this thing can kind of pull back, right, and tap into this 984 level, we have a lot of liquidity down there at 984, and it's the view op. So if it could push down there, take out the view op, take out all these right here, and take out all these levels down here. You have these stacked lows down there. If it could take out all those levels, it'd be really nice to potentially go long off of. And it would be a bounce off of view op. If we get down there, though. We got to get down there, though. Yeah, dude. These all-time highs, I hate them. I hate all-time highs. We were there yesterday. We're there today. Like, we just need to get away from them. There's literally, because there's nothing to do up here. It's like, there's no levels because we're at all-time highs. It's just kind of grinding up. Unless this gets a pullback to a level where you can take a long off of, but like, you know, taking shorts off of all-time highs is not smart, and then going long on all-time highs is also not smart because you're at all-time highs. I mean, where are you gonna take profit? Like, where's your, you know, this is not the smartest thing to do. So it's rejecting off that pivot point. So got that pivot right there. Can't get through that pivot, so hopefully he starts to kind of, and it's a perfect rejection off that pivot. Let's start to sell off. We don't really have much news today either. Trading NQ futures, NASDAQ. Specifically MNQ because I'm trading the micros, but NASDAQ futures. Come on, NASDAQ. Where's my, whatever. There you go. There you go. There you go. What time frame? This is the 1 minute, but I chart on the 15 minute and then drop to the 1 minute. So if I go to the 15 minute, I'll show you. I have my levels marked out on the 15 minute. And then I'm waiting for these levels to kind of see a reaction off these levels to take a entry off of. And then once I mark out my 15-minute levels, I just drop to the 1 minute and wait for those levels to get. Wait for the price to come to that level and kind of see a reaction off that level. So let's see what happens here. Hopefully we can get a trade in here soon. But we're getting that movement. Getting that movement. Let me see something real quick. All right, so let's see. We have to. It broke below this 4.2 level. 24.042. Now it's pushing up. This has to hold as resistance to potentially go down. Right now, this is going to be. Remember, old levels of support become new levels of resistance. If your price is going down. So price broke through this old support level. Now it can hold this as resistance. So now see it's pushing up. And that level now is kind of trying to act as a resistance level. And you see price rejecting off that level. It's not to say it won't push through it. It could push through it, but you could see like it is having a little bit of trouble getting through it. So we could potentially keep going down. Hopefully. It's gonna go down, bro. I hope so. I hope you're right. Because I'm sick of it being here at all-time highs. What time frame is this? This is the 1 minute. This is the 1 minute chart. But my levels are marked out on the I mark out my levels on the 15 minute. So you could see that. Oh, dang. Look at that 15-minute candle. It's not a good sign, really, for bulls. Looks like a... Let's go down to... Alright, rejection off it. There you go. Keep going down. It's rejecting off that old support level. Now it turned into resistance. Now we're going back down. Our old support turns into new resistance. So that's why we get that break through the support. tap back in as a resistance to go back down. It's kind of just like rebalancing in a way. We do have coming up on the 200. So the 200 is going to act probably as some form of a support. Hopefully we keep pushing down. Got a decent amount of liquidity. I hope it doesn't reverse off these internal. I need it to go to that. And that's why I kind of wait. I mark it out on the 15 minute. Because see, you have a bunch of these lows on the 1 minute. These kind of like internal lows. Which it could reverse off it. But a lot of times these 1 minute lows, I mean, you could just get faked out. A lot of fake outs on the 1 minute. So that's why you kind of have to focus on a higher time frame. And then you get your entries off a lower time frame. Because you don't want to just focus on the 1 minute. Because if you do that, you're going to get faked out a lot. You want to be able to focus on the big picture and then like kind of like snipe your entry on the 1 minute. So, see what happens here. We're still kind of, dang it. Starting to push up from that. Took out this internal, now it's trying to go back up. What are you doing? The 200, it's got to get through. Man, now it's gonna. Bro. We're gonna keep going down. Inverse this, but it took out this 1 minute. Let's see what happens. We need this to go down. Come on, NASDAQ. You can do it. It's not that difficult. There you go. We got the 200 right there, and right below that 200 we have the view ops right there. So wait, if you look at the 15 minute, it shows it in a bullish trend. Wouldn't it be a buy? Yes. Yeah. So when I have these levels marked out on the 15 minute, I'm looking to go long. At this point, I'm looking to go long. So obviously I don't want to buy, I don't want to go long, right, when price is literally at the very top. What you want to wait for is a pullback to like a key level. See all this liquidity built up? This tells me right here on this chart, right? This tells me when we got a big bounce off of here, another bounce off of here, that there's a lot of buyers stepping in at this level. So I would want to wait for price to come back down, for it to take out this major level, and then buyers start stepping in again like they stepped in here. So take it out, buyers start stepping in again, and then you get your entry off that to go long. But yeah, you don't want to get long at the very top of the move, and then it pulls back on you and you get stopped out. Looking for a break of structure past high. I don't necessarily look for a break of structure. Some people, I mean, it's a confluence some people use. But like on a 1 minute, I do like to see if it for like a break of structure. I do like that. So for example, if it was to come down to this major level, right? and it was to kind of take out this level. It was to start forming an uptrend, pull back, and then kind of break that structure that it formed on the 1 minute. So now that structure here, maybe I could draw it kind of. It's gonna be hard to draw it, but so if price kind of comes down, takes out the low, and then it kind of pushes up like this, and then kind of comes back down without taking the low, or it could take the low, doesn't really matter. But then when price comes back up, and this all has to align with a gap, right? And now it can kind of break that structure. So it took out, right? It took out the low, right? It pushed up, failed to make a new low. Now it's breaking this kind of 1 minute. So now this holds as support. So if it was to break it, right, it would hold as support. And assuming there's like a gap here and I enter off the gap, that holds as support, and then you enter on your target. Or you can enter, I mean, there's so many ways you could do it on a, there's so many different ways. You just have to figure out what you would want to do. Some people wait for like the break of structure. Some people wait for the retest. Some people buy as soon as it breaks. But I personally buy as soon as that 1 minute candle gets, as soon as like a bearish gap gets inversed. But like for me, the key thing is, right? Do you know if Intelligent Limit is a legit? I've never heard of him ever. I've never heard of that broker. But for me, one of the biggest things is a sweep of a level, right? Because you want your stop loss to be protected. So when you get an entry, you want your stop loss to be protected because it already took out that major level. So you know, you could assume that it's going to go higher before it comes back down. And a lot of people are stepping in at that level just based on past chart history. On those major levels, a lot of buyers start to step in, or sellers, whatever you're. And you can kind of see, right? As soon as it kind of breaks like a 1 minute structure, it breaks it and then it retests it, right? So you had this kind of structure form. It was holding it as support, formed a structure, broke that structure, came back up to retest that structure to go lower, right? Took out this 1 minute liquidity right there, failed to continue lower, ended up closing back above this gap. Now it's breaking this structure, right? Now it just broke above this structure, and now it's trying to retest this structure as support. So you can see it kind of breaks lows, retest structure. But yeah, like this is something I used to take, but again, I got burned so many times that I just stick to the higher time frame ones. But you can see what happens on the 1 minute, right? Swept that 1 minute liquidity, it inversed that gap, and now we're kind of going up. But I don't really like to take these kind of trades because, yeah, it's a lot of fake outs, like I said, on the 1 minute. So I just wait for the higher time frame. Is this thing gonna go lower? Come on. Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. And see, that's why I wouldn't take the 1 minute, because you get a lot of like something like this, right? See, you wouldn't even took in profit. Like it never even took out the highs anymore. And then you look at this. Oh, whoa, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, what is going on? Nice. Let's get away from that all-time high. We're at VWAP, so we're bouncing off VWAP. Let's see. Trump just arrived at Kennedy Space Center. He's supposed to talk at 11:15, I think. $11:15 is when he's supposed to talk, which I mean, who knows? He could tweet something. Somebody could have tweeted something, or this could just be price action. It's starting to get a little more wild. It's almost like a new something came out. It almost feels like. Let me actually check. Let me check Truth Social. Let's see if Trump said something, maybe. Either it could just be price action, or somebody could be something. Some news came out, maybe. No. Trump's always saying stuff, so. Alright, now see if it broke down. Now we can come back and retest this as resistance. Yeah, it's the second day in a row Trump's talking. This is NASDAQ futures. Alright, now it's kind of, right, testing it as resistance. Coming back down. I really want to get, I would want to get some, like, actually, I wouldn't. I was thinking of, like, doing a strategy on other accounts, this kind of strategy, like a break and then a retest of into a resistance to go short. Is that a red candle over 50 points in 1 minute? Yeah. It's a freaking wild red. I don't know what the heck happened. It's... Yeah, it's what? 10, let's say here. 10, 20, 30, 40. Yeah, it's like 50-point candle. It's wild. Out of nowhere. I think it's just regular price action. That's wild. That's why you have a stop loss. If somebody was long here, you gotta be like... This is NQ futures. Well, MNQ because I'm trading micros, but NASDAQ futures. Similar chart as NQ. It was hard for me to mark out any new levels because price rallied so much yesterday. Yeah, I have a couple levels marked out. Kind of looking at these kind of levels. We got a bunch of stacked like lows here. We got this level right there. Not a bad level too for me. I mean, they could take out this level, right? And we got support. We got like a kind of a support level to the left. So there's a lot going on down here for price to potentially kind of sweep these lows right here and then bounce off of this support. Hopefully. And then I think VWAP is right there too, so hopefully you can right now it just broke below VWAP, so let's see. VWAP is pretty, hopefully we can so it just broke below VWAP, so VWAP is pretty much right right here is VWAP. So you got VWAP right there. So hopefully if we could get some kind of movement and start closing back above VWAP. I hate all-time. I really do too. I hate all-time highs because it's like there's nothing to trade. Like you're not gonna long off of all-time highs because what's the point of buying all-time highs? That's kind of dumb. You're just asking to get wrecked, and then you're not gonna short all-time highs because it's all-time highs. You're not good to short all-time highs. You just get ripped. So it's like just gotta wait for a pullback. So I'm kind of waiting for a pullback to see what happens at this level right here. Hopefully we could kind of take out this level and start getting some buying pressure back up. I'm hoping. If I do take a target, I would have to be careful for this gap right here because there's a big gap. I mean, I'd probably take profits at the highs, at an internal high. So if we can kind of come back down, you know, take out, get an entry, and kind of target like a high, internal high for the safest kind of bet. See what happens though. I think we want those lows. Hopefully he doesn't do that crap like yesterday where it comes super close to a level and then without taking it out, it just reverses. But we'll see. Tapping view up. Good morning, good morning. Do you think it's going to be low or long after hitting? Well, that's the thing is I'm watching how price is going to react. I don't know what's going to happen. It could break through this and continue going lower. I'm hoping it takes it out and it goes long and buyers start stepping in like before. But I don't know. I mean, that's why you got to just watch price action and react to what price action does. If we can get an entry, if it continues going lower, just never take an entry. But if it takes it out and you know you get a setup for a long, then I'll take a long. So I don't really want to predict what happens. I want to just react to what happens. Yeah, it's having trouble. There's a gap right there, but freaking A. That's... I would like another gap to form somewhere down here. Depending on see how it breaks. Is it going to break super strong and form another gap? Or is it going to just tap into it and then reverse? There's a gap here, but we'll see. I mean, not the best risk to reward. If I was to take it off this kind of a gap, I mean, I don't know. I'd have to... size accordingly, and then it would be kind of like the risk to reward was not the best. We'll see what happens. Alright, still pushing down. We're coming off on a 10 o'clock mark. We usually, remember I said yesterday, a lot of times at 10 o'clock we get some form of a reversal. I don't know why, but it does happen. So we'll see what happens here. Maybe if I do take it, it'll have to be, I'll have to size correctly to not risk a lot. Let's see, because this risk is kind of... Oh, come on, you're so freaking close. Wild. Look at that. We tapped into a first demand zone, might get wrecked and break. It's holding so far. Yeah, I want this low to get taken out. I need this low to get taken out. I'm not taking a long until this low gets taken out. This is fine. It's kind of forming. This is good. It's just forming a kind of a structure. So if it can kind of reject off this gap, I would love that. Because if it can reject off this gap right here, like it's doing right now, it's forming kind of a structure. And if it forms a structure and then takes it out, that would give me even more confidence. Because if we break above the structure, right, now that structure is going to hold as support kind of deal. So I like this. I love when this happens right here. So let's see if this gap kind of holds as resistance and it continues going lower. I just hope it doesn't close above the gap. Which it could, but... So far that gap is holding as resistance. So hasn't closed above the gap. This is what I like to see. Sorry, I need your gap. I'm not in a trade yet. Hold on, give me a second. I'll be back. Holy man. I'll be back in a second before this trade happens. All right, this is what I like to see. Right? So I'm not in a trade yet, but I would love to see this now take out this low. And this is what we're talking about structure. Well, I was talking about 1 minute structure earlier. So now I need it to come down. Let's take out this low. And then if we can kind of push up, if we can start closing above this gap, we could potentially go for these internal highs, possibly tap into the 50% mark of this gap. So depending on that 1-to-1 risk, somewhere here I would be taking profits. Right? So this is, and this was that, if this breaks, right? Now if this gap breaks, it formed this structure. If this gap breaks, now this is going to hold as support. It should hold as support if it breaks to go higher. So we'll see. We'll see. So far, it hasn't even taken out that low, which is freaking... Oh, I hate when it does this. This sucks. This has been doing this for the past, like, 3 days, where it goes to a level, and it gets, like, 10 points away from a level and just bounces and doesn't go back down. And you could see, right? These levels show that it's holding. The fact that it's, like, getting to this level and bouncing super hard off it, showing that buyers are stepping in at that level. Because based on past chart history, right, a lot of buyers stepped in here. So you're assuming when it comes back down here, buyers are going to start stepping in again. So holding so far. Yeah, it's holding. I think it's going to take it out here. We're coming back down. And then see how buyers, they push it down and buyers immediately step in like aggressively. And it's having trouble. It's literally, so we got the gap perfectly aligned with VWAP. So VWAP is literally, where is it? It's above this candle, like right there. It's right below that gap is the VWAP. So that's also why there's a gap and a VWAP. So if it can get through this gap, it'll get through VWAP. It'll be a good sign too. For longs, not for bears. I can't check SPY right now just because I'm waiting for this trade setup to happen. If I exit out of this chart, I may miss this trade, so I'll check it after. But this is NASDAQ futures. All right, here we go. About to tap. Let me move the chart up a little bit. All right. There's that. We just took out that low. See what happens here. So gonna be another gap that forms right there. Would you say stocks have changed your way of living? No, not at all. Trying to see what risk I would take. If I do take a scalp, I may take a scalp off this inverse. I don't know, maybe just a quick scalp. A very small size. See if it... I really want this. I would love this trade right here, but I don't want to be buying at the top either. Not much room for the upside of there, so we'll see. Take a maybe. There's a lot of resistance there, which kind of sucks. Retest the fair value gap. No, I would love for it to inverse that fair value gap. Seeing how buyers kind of maybe start to step in here. Maybe take a quick small size scalp to these highs, and then maybe we'll see what happens at... Got a lot of sellers stepping in. I'm gonna possibly try this. Take profits at these. Very small size scalp, just for fun. See if we could get a push out of... Ooh, stop below the lows. Hard stop below the lows. But we'll see what happens here. Can we get buyers to start, or is this level not going to hold? Buyers stepping in. There's the buying. Come on, come on, push it. Oh, seller's aggressive. Gotta hold that as support. May have to get out early if it closes below this gap. It's not gonna look good. We need buyers to step in and keep. Sellers are still kind of strong here. Come on, buyers, step in. May take a early. If it closes below the gap, I'll get out for a very, very, very small loss, just because I don't want this thing to. All right, there's the push. Push, 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 push. Come on. Just for the internal highs. I'm not asking for freaking an 150-point move. You son of a... Like, I'm not asking for a lot, right? Is it too much to ask for? Oh, these freaking sellers need to chill out. You've already sold off. We got view op there. That's the other thing. It's going to be pretty big. It's literally rejecting off view op. That's why I don't like taking longs off view op. Because view op tends to reject. It's very hard for price to get through view op a lot of times. So when you're trying to take a scalp right when view op is right above you, it's a little bit dangerous. You can see sellers are like pretty aggressive, but it's like a battle. Let's see if we can get through view op. Ah, freaking A. I have my finger on the sell button. If this thing starts to close below the gap, I'm gonna get out of this for a very small loss. I can always get back in. I'm trying to protect my profits, right? So I am not scared to get out if this doesn't go my way. Still letting price kind of develop, see what happens. It's having a hard time. It's having a hard time. You see, it's trying to hold this, but it's like sellers are just stepping in pretty aggressive. They're trying to hold this level, but there's not enough buying pressure coming in. Not strong enough. Sellers are, you know, stronger than buyers. More selling pressure than buying pressure so far. Unless something changes, but... Just push it already! What are you doing? Come on, man. Holy... Man, like, it's not that freaking hard. It's balanced. It's no pressure for either side. I mean, it's like, yeah, buyers step in, sellers take over. Sellers take over, buyers step in. It's just going sideways. It's literally like, and it's view op. It makes sense why it's doing that. We're at view op. It's always, this crap always happens at view op. Because it's volume weighted average price. Price is pretty balanced at view op. So that's why I'm very small size. I don't like longing into view op, but you know, why not? Whatever. I took it with small size. There you go. We're tapping view op. We need to get through view op. We gotta get through view op. I'm not asking for a close and push right above. All I need is a sweep. Tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it! Sorry if I'm not answering. I'm just so focused on price right now that I'm... What is this? Oh my gosh. Bruh. Immediately just takes over. Oh. I should have waited for the better entry off. Look at that. Buyers, sellers step in aggressively, buyers step in aggressively. It's just like... I don't know, man. This price action is freaking... I don't like getting stuck in sideways movement because I have too much anxiety. This thing is like... Look at this crap. What are you supposed to do here? Bruh. If this closes below the gap, I'm gonna get out for a small loss. I'll get back in if I may. Probably not, but I don't like the way this is moving. I really don't like the way this is moving. We're not getting enough buying stepping in at this major level. Sellers are still freaking being annoying. Just push it! Come on! For the love of God, just push it! Bro. Emotional damage. This is freaking, Thank you, thank you. Oh, wow, no, we're not gonna push it. We're gonna keep dropping it. We're gonna keep dropping it. How many seconds left? 10 seconds left. This closes below the gap, I'm out. I don't care. I'm out. Protecting my loss. There you go. Look at that exit. Perfect. I just saved some money. I would have got stopped out, but I exited early for a small loss. I literally saved like... This is what I was talking about earlier. I want to learn how to do is figuring out when I'm wrong early. Way too emotional? How am I emotional when I got out of the trade early? How is that being emotional? Being emotional is not having a stop loss and allowing, you know, allowing your emotions to dictate your trading. The fact that I got out of the trade early and saved how much? Over 10 points shows already that, you know, I don't let my emotions control my trading. And I was sized down. I knew, I mean, the thing about trading, you have to understand the risk you're taking. I knew that this could be a risky trade, so I sized down. Initially, I was waiting for this, right? My bigger entry would be this move right here. Close above this gap. I would love this trade. Close above this gap, and then, because we would be above VWAP. But the fact that I'm tapping into VWAP, that's why I sized down. And there's nothing wrong. There's just, There's this dumb misconception in the trading world that you can't be emotional. Like, anytime you take a trade, you're going to be emotional. You're a human being. You got money on the line. Don't let your emotions dictate your trading. That's the thing. I said before, right? I had a hard stop under these lows. I said before, if this closes below this gap, I'm out. It was holding, failed to hold, closed below the gap. I got out and immediately dumped to my stop loss. So, and that was like a 1 to 2, pretty much kind of a 1 to 2 trade, right? Because I was targeting, it would have been, yeah, it would have been over a 1 to 1. So now, let's see what happens. What's happening on the 15-minute? All right, we still got those levels kind of down there. See what happens at those levels. I mean, maybe we can get a setup off these levels, a better setup. And we're away from view up. I like getting away from view up. But get a couple of those levels down there, see what happens maybe. They're probably emotional. Yeah, I mean, they're... Imagine a person, even imagine a person that's not emotional, but ends up blowing their accounts every single day. Ninja Trader. Yeah, I'm trying to protect because I'm still up. I mean, I'm still up pretty good on these accounts, so trying to be careful not to. What would really make me emotional is if I blow these accounts by being stupid. If someone's not emotional, wouldn't they just be yeah, exactly. They would be AI. I don't think you could be like non-emotional unless you're like risking $1, you know? You're trying to make $1 and you're risking such little money that, but even then, right? You're still emotional in a way because you want to be right. You want to be right, so you get emotional even though you have very little, you know, size on the table. I mean, we're all human beings. No human being likes to be wrong. That's why people argue. That's why people like, nobody wants to admit that they're wrong. That's the hardest part. And trading requires, to be a good trader requires you to admit that you're wrong. And the faster you could admit that you're wrong, the more money you save. So it's just like, then you have people coming in that don't want to admit that they're wrong. And if you don't do that in the market, you will get slapped in the face. Hedge funds have to manage billions. I'd have white hairs by the next day. Yeah, exactly. Imagine the risk management they have. I mean, they have like, typically like hedge funds have like, they have psychologists, they have like on staff. If you're risking, you know, hundreds of millions, possibly billions of dollars, you're going to be emotional. So think about the emotions that they go through. But, you know, they don't let their emotions control their trading. And they got computers that do it too. I mean, they got algorithms and stuff that trade, but there are people putting on, you know, millions of dollars into a trade. So there is no possible way you can't be emotional putting up millions of dollars. What's the worst broker? I don't know. I mean, it depends. There's not really a worst broker. It just depends on how you trade, right? Different brokers are kind of catered to different trading. Like people that invest use maybe one kind of broker. People that day trade use another type of broker. But I have Ninja Trader as a futures. There are futures. There are super popular futures broker. I actually am an uncle. I am an uncle. My brother has kids, so So how did you go about calling this move? So initially, I have two gaps marked out, right? Initially, I was looking for this gap to get inversed, right? Oh, shoot. Where's that level? Initially, I was looking for this gap to get inversed, to go long. But we kind of, when we swept it, we formed another little tiny gap. I went in small size to try to potentially catch a scalp to the highs. Then I would catch the bigger move. So I just took this little tiny trade, like very small size. My TP was at these highs, so didn't really take out my TP. I said if it closes below, my entry was right there, the close of this candle. So this 994.50 level was my entry, or sorry, 995 level was my entry. And then I said if it closes back below, I had a hard stop up below the lows. Said if it closes below this gap, I'm out. So I got in 995, and I got out 984 for a very small loss early. So I just wanted a quick scalp to see if it could quickly, you know, go for those highs. It was better than a 1-to-1 because I took a, you know, early stop out. Managing risk. That's the biggest thing right now I'm focusing on, is managing my risk. From an uncle at 19? Dang. See, you're an uncle. You taught me more than any other creator. Appreciate it. I try to, yeah, I try to, whatever I can, whatever I know, I'll teach. I mean, I've been doing this for a while, but, you know, caught 20 points with 5 contracts on my Evo, need more to pass still. Yeah, you don't need, that's the thing about trading, you don't need a big move. You know, a lot of times you see these like, oh, I caught a 1-to-10, 1-to-5 RR trade. Like, you don't really need big moves on. If you have a strategy, hey, there are people with strategies that catch 10 points. Right? There are even like trades by Matt. He's another trader like on YouTube. He catches 10-point moves, but he goes heavy. He has a strategy where he can go heavy, catches 10-point moves, and that's it. That's all you need. You don't really need like a massive move. And if you manage your risk correctly, you can go in heavier if you manage your risk correctly. I'm at the point in my trading, I am not scared to admit that I'm wrong. Like, that's all trading is. There's no magical thing about trading where you can figure it out in a sense of, oh my god, I figured out trading. I know how to trade. I don't lose. I don't ever lose. Like, the whole thing about trading is it's all probabilities. That's why I said, I made a video about this. It's all probabilities based, right? And for example, this trade right here, I took a long because I figured, okay, it swept this major level, closed back above. If we can kind of push to these highs, right? There's a higher, at this point in time, there's a higher probability we could push to the highs than go for those lows. Price started to develop. And what happened? As soon as we closed below the gap, I understood now probability shifts. There's a higher probability that this is going to go for those lows again. So that's why I got out, because probability shifted. Probability is no longer in my favor when price closes below this gap. So why would I stay in a trade when probability is against me? And if you could do that and be that, like, you know, disciplined, then it's not really hard to be profitable in the long run. I'm not looking to be, you know, to win every trade. I'm looking to be profitable in the long run. I enjoy trading with other tradings in the morning, so thank you. No problem. Thanks for stopping by. It's interesting to see what other people get from whatever other people are doing. Learn from them too. I mean, try to get something that, you know, that you can take from them. But what I realized, nobody really teaches. That's what I realized. I don't know why, but what's the price target for SPY? I'm not sure about SPY. I'm looking at NQ. SPY is like on SPY is on the stock market. 5 minis on 150k eval. Yeah, that's. I don't ever lose. Yeah. I refuse to believe the market is random. Those Wall Street people know damn well what they're doing. I mean, it's not random, but it's buying and selling. That's what it is. I think that if it doesn't go past 943, then we'll go up. 943. Possibly. We have a couple of other major levels. It could reject. It could come up and reject. But it's not that the market is random, right? The way the market moves is buying and selling. That's why, you know, when you move down to a major level, where previously a lot of buyers stepped in, it's not really random that a lot of buyers are stepping in again. Anytime you get more buying pressure, price moves up. You get more selling pressure, price moves down. Best way to learn from the beginning, I would say just get obsessed with it. I mean, getting obsessed with like trading, and there's so much content on YouTube about trading. Just kind of learn. Just start to. That's what I did. I mean, I just started to learn and kind of try to pick a strategy, trying to learn a bunch of stuff and try to pick a strategy that I like and try to back test it to see if it works for me, to see if I like it. And I just stuck. I found this strategy. I like to do it. I mean, something I've been doing for a while already, so I don't want to switch. Maybe down the line I'll try some other strategies for fun, but did you start off with practice simulation before you actually put real money into trading? I did it the wrong way. I personally, when I started trading with stocks. I went to options, and back then when I was doing stocks and options and all that, I had to use, I was using real money, which was stupid because now that I look back, it was really dumb because you're pretty much guaranteed to lose money. If you're learning how to trade, you're guaranteed to lose money. So looking back, I did it the wrong way. I should have first started out in a simulator. Like, I had a simulated account and I should have just started off. So don't make that same mistake. Yeah, get a simulated account, trade off a simulated account, and learn a strategy before you move to prop firms or any of that. We are moving away from those all-time highs, though. XRP. I don't know about XRP. I don't really trade. I don't trade crypto. Let's see what's happening on the 15-minute. All right. Still hasn't really taken out any other major level. Still kind of see what happens at these levels. I mean, we do have this low down here too. I didn't mark it, but I mean, there's a bunch of stacked lows down here too. That's the thing, when you have a bunch of these stacked lows, like, I would prefer this bottom one. Whatever, we'll see what happens. So it could come on just to rebalance itself to go lower. See what happens here. It's kind of stuck in the middle here. Make about 20K a month swing trading options. If it works for you, if you found a strategy that works for you, I mean, all power to you. Options is, I used to trade options. Options is kind of, I mean, you buy contracts that are far out of the money. I used to buy contracts like same day expiration ones, which if you scalp those go crazy. But I haven't traded options in a long time. Market slowly fading now. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it. We're below VWAP. We're a massive sell-off. Dang. Huge sell-off. Kind of stuck. What time is it? It's 10:42. Starting to get 11 o'clock. It's gonna start to kind of die down. See what happens here. Maybe I'll take another small scalp. Probably not big size. For me to go in big size, I need to be confident in the trade. So and that's something I learned recently too. I used to go in same size of every trade. I used to go in the same size. And what really helps is like the trades you're super confident in. And this just, I guess, comes from experience. But like the trades that you're confident in, you go in heavy size. And the trades that you're kind of like, I don't really like, you know, I don't like that the VWAP is right there. I don't like this. I don't like that. And you're not the most confident in the trade because you know there's levels that could reject before it gets to your TP. Then you just size down or you don't take the trade at all. And then you can have these like little losses, right? Because you are managing risk. And then when you get that one good trade, that one good trade eats away all your losses. So touching SMA 200, I think we have 15 minutes before energy again, and later this afternoon. Possibly, yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's going to take out those levels or there's just a lot of levels here, right? Like preferably if it could take out this last level, because I don't really know. Like it could take out the first two and then kind of rip up and then go back down to the last one, or may not even reach those levels. I don't know. But when I take a long, I don't really like any other levels by it like this. Because I just don't know if it's going to take out the first level and then, right, then it's going to go back down to take out the second level. I don't want to go long if it could potentially, right, take out the other levels. We'll see. I don't know. See as price action unfolds what's going to happen. Yeah, this NASDAQ futures. Starting to break out of that. But you can kind of see how buyers started, right? Once we took out that major level, you see how buyers were trying to step in here. Like it didn't just blow through it, right? You saw that bounce off of it. We just didn't get that continuation. You don't, you never know if buyers are going to continue pushing or sellers are going to step in more aggressively. But there was a battle right here. You could see buyers stepped in, sellers took over, then buyers took over, and then we just kind of were going sideways until sellers really just like took control. And then at some point buyers just gave up, right? Almost like the area where I got out is where everyone kind of gave up. And then it's just like more sellers took over, and then it just kept dumping after that. But here's a perfect example, like, right? Imagine somebody who doesn't have experience, who lets their emotions dictate their trading, and he or she goes, oh no, it's gonna go back up. I'm gonna just, it keeps moving a stop. I'm gonna cancel my stop. I'll move my stop. I'll get out later. And then what happens is it keeps dumping, 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 dumping. Imagine if I was still in this trade right now. How much money I would have been down. Like that would have took me weeks to recover from this kind of a dump. So that's why trading is so hard, is because if you don't have the discipline to take a loss, if you take a big loss that eats away, it can eat away a month's worth of profits if you're not. It's very easy to eat it, to take a loss that you lose a month's worth of profits. Trust me, and me saying I've done that before. When I started trading options, I had this thing where, now this is futures, but back then I used to trade options. I had a time where I went like 2 weeks of straight profits. Literally 2 weeks of not losing one trade in 2 weeks. And I felt like I was on the top of the world. And there was a trade that came that started to go against me. And what I did was I canceled my stop because I did not want to lose that trade because I was on a streak. I didn't want to break my streak. Guess what happened? Not only did I lose 2 weeks worth of profits, I lost like a month's worth of profits because I did that. So that's why I really learned from that really badly. I was so pissed off. And that was real money. That wasn't a prop firm. That was real money. But it's just like a learning phase that I feel like so many people go through. I've been through a lot. With trading, I've been through a lot. So it's like, there's a saying out there. There are people who learn from other people's mistakes, and there are people who learn from their own mistakes. It's like, I don't know why, but I'm somebody who just when it came to trading, I learned from my own mistakes. Like I knew you shouldn't do that, but I still did it, and I had to get slapped in the face before I, stopped doing it. That's me, bro. Lost 3 more. Everything started moving so fast. Yeah, you gotta, like I said, you gotta be disciplined. I made a video about this. The biggest thing to learn is figure out how to get out of your losses early. It's not figuring out, how you can be more right, but figure out how you can really protect your losses. Because the profits come, right? You will have winning trades, but it's the losing trades that take away from your winning trades. So if you can somehow figure out how to get out earlier, I'm fine with getting out. You saw, if you were here earlier, you saw I got out of my trade earlier. I didn't let it hit my full stop loss. I got out earlier, and that was me protecting money. I literally saved like $100 on that because I got out early. It would have hit my full stop loss. Tariff volume was no joke. Oh man, tariffs, let me tell you, tariffs did mess up my funded accounts a little bit. My funded accounts got a little messed up because of tariffs. It was bad, dude. Price action was wild during tariffs. It was freaking crazy. Even with 1 micro, you could get wrecked using 1 micro. I was using 1 micro, and I went through some crazy... a lot of people blew up their accounts for sure off of tariffs. Is it going to go for those highs again? Should I take this very small scalp? Again, if it closes below, kind of, I don't know. Probably shouldn't have took that. Target above the highs. See if it could take out. Closes below, I'm going to get out, obviously. I don't know. It took out this level, but there's so much more levels down there. It could go back down to those levels. We'll see. I don't know. I'm fine putting this risk on the table. See if it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. No big deal. You just keep going lower. It's not really giving me anything. This is just a fun trade. This isn't like anything serious. 2 years. Full time, like 2 years. Trading against the trend? Yeah, I am. This is against the trend, but took out a major level. We'll see if it can start pushing up. I understand the risk that I'm putting on the table, so this is small size too. Oh man. Ugh. Is not looking too hot. We got a lot of other levels down there to take out, so potentially. I appreciate it. Take this only when I see 5-minute structure change. Yeah, it's a risky trade. I know it's a risky trade. That's why I'm sized down. Alright, I'm just playing probabilities. That's it. That's all I'm doing is playing probabilities. Still, the probability is still, you know, in my favor. Once probability shifts against me, I'm gonna get out. Oh, is Trump talking soon? Holy, Trump is talking like 15 minutes. I forgot about that. Their sellers are pretty strong here. We need at least 2 magnets. Trump is talking. He's not talking yet. He's talking at like 11:15. Buyers just don't have it in them today, huh? Buyers just don't. They're struggling. They are struggling. Probabilities, guys. Probabilities. And it's rejecting now. Sellers are really like, holy crap, man. Sellers are pretty strong today. No chill with the selling. Not looking good. Just take out the high. That's it. That's all. Holy crap. I should have maybe had my TP at the body candle highs like I usually do. It starts to reject. Why don't you pull out to get some profits to make up for the loss? This will make up for the loss if it hits TP, but I should have maybe had my TP at the body candle highs. Like I said before, like I don't know why price likes to do this, but it likes to tap into body candle highs and then reject off it. See how it tapped into that body candle high and then it just rejected off it. I'm looking to get a little more profit. Looking for potential just sweep of those highs. That's just all what I'm looking for. There it goes. Just playing the probabilities. I think we could sweep those highs. View op is still pretty far away. I'm not worried about view op being in the way of price. So this is wild. It's like my stop loss is like a freaking repellent. It's like a freaking stock market repellent. I mean, futures market repellent. Look how freaking close it gets. This is so dumb. Just messing with my emotions. Like, how do you not get emotional from this? Look at this crap. Look at this crap. Bro, what is this crap? This is so dumb. This is so dumb. It was literally like a couple points away from my TP. Of course, it's not going to hit my TP. It's not going to take out those highs. Of course not. Why would it take out those highs? Oh, man. It is what it is. Still playing the probabilities. As long as it's above this gap, I'm still good. We're still got more room to the upside. As long as it stays above this gap. If it closes below the gap, starts looking ugly for me. Not looking good for me if it closes below the gap. I should probably just get out of this. This is like... It could be waiting for Trump to talk. Price just could be just going sideways before Trump talks. This is NQ Futures. NASDAQ. Look at price. Freaking razor blade action right here. Pin needles. Pin needles. Just does not have the strength to go. Yeah, it's a 1 minute chart. I may have to get out of this. Tall wicks, wedge, classic, tactical for short. I mean, yeah, it's... This is just going nowhere. Sellers are in control. It's like buyers just don't have it in them today, huh? No, like, we're not getting those reversal moves. We're just kind of like slowly grinding down. Slowly grinding down. I mean, it's not... 15-minute chart looks good, but I don't... Fuck stupid sellers, dude. They just won't give it up. If we close below the gap, I'm out. I'm not letting them... Right? Again, I'm playing probabilities. As long as we stay above this gap, I'm good for a long. Once we start closing below the gap, it's probably going for that low. So I'm not going to get caught in that, you know. Today's not my day at all. We're not getting that reversal like we usually do. It's just, today's just a sell-off. Slowly selling off. It's not even taking out any highs. No highs are getting taken out. It's just slowly just like dipping lower. Man, it's like barely right at that gap. Not really closing below it, but closing right at it. Man. Oh, sellers, sellers, sellers. What will I do with you? When it comes to my stop loss, oh, they'll go for my stop. It'll go to my stop loss, no problem. When it comes to my TP, but it'll dance around my TP, reject off. It never does that with my stop loss. It'll go straight to my stop loss like there's no tomorrow. Today is not my day. Dang. What? How much? 5 seconds left. I'm getting out of this if this closes below. I'm out. Not my day today. I need to just step away from the market. Hope is not. Oh, I'm not hoping. It was a scalp, but it's just not my day today. Today's a slow grind day. I'm a reversal trader. This is like a nightmare for me right here. This is not a reversal. This is just grind slowly down. These are the types of days where I have to be extra careful not to lose. These are the type of days where I just can't make money these days. There's no reversals today. It's just slowly grinding down. Sometimes, sometimes it don't work. But that's the thing. You have to know when to size down when it doesn't work. If you do take a trade, I mean, if you take a trade but understand the loss, you know, I saved money on that loss too right there by getting out early. Now it took out this low, and now watch, it's gonna rip right back up. Knowing to walk away because the seven plan is winning the day. Yeah. You gotta know. Sometimes it works. Sometimes the strategy works amazing. Sometimes days like today, it just does not want to work. When it does this kind of crap, it doesn't take out any highs but keeps going lower. So, it is what it is. It's alright. Hopefully tomorrow I get better price action than this crap. If we're playing technicals, then what made you think it was going to go above the resistance? Technically, my trade, and I said this before, right? A lot of times you'll see me take profits at the candle body highs instead of the tops. It's exactly what I should have done on this trade. If I would have done that on this trade, I would have taken profit. It literally tapped that body candle high and then it dropped. But I don't know. I just wanted to go for that high up here, which was kind of dumb because it wasn't that far away. Ended up tapping the body candle high. But, you know, we just swept this level. We swept this level, got a push out of it, closed above the gap. I thought it could, you know, most days it would go at least to that high. Today's not the day where it just did not go for that high, but should have put my TP at body candle highs, but the risk to reward wasn't the best on that trade too. So it's all right. It is what it is. But you know what's a W today? Even though I took that loss, I'm happy with the way I took the loss. That's for sure. I did not allow price. It's like the video I saw. It's like the video I made, the last video I made, right? It's exactly what I'm practicing. Is I'm not allowing price to come down and stop me out fully, right? Like I said earlier, I'm playing probabilities. If probability goes against me and it closes back below the gap, I'm out for a smaller loss than initially I was risking, right? I'm getting out early because I'm realizing probability is against me. And look at that. Look how much money I've already saved because I got out early on the trade. That was literally like $100 saved right there because I got out early and didn't allow price to stop me out for a full stop out. It's a lot. $100 here, $100 there, and it's like two of them. Yeah. Both trades saved money. Today's just not my day, but my risk management on those trades were really good. I'm happy with my risk management on the trades. That's one thing I'm not happy with the way price is moving. Freaking just not giving me anything. $330 profit from the shorts. Nice. Glad you caught the shorts. Because man. Shorts were the move. If it was your strategy to short, it was a good short. It is a perfect day to short for sure. Let me check. I had just a second. Give me a second. I had somebody that was supposed to come. Crap. Who was it? Freaking A. Sorry, I had someone who's supposed to come at 11. Oh, he's not coming. Never mind. Oh. Oh my gosh. But yeah, today's not my day. Two L's on the day. Small size though. But here's the thing, right? Manage your risk. Right? I took 2 losses. Manage your risk. Guess what? If I get a good trade tomorrow, I can make back both those losses. So that's the beautiful part. So I don't have to be emotional because I know I can come back tomorrow and make back both those losses. And more, actually. And more. Meaning if I get a full-size trade in, like if price action is nice and it's good, and I can get a full-size, go in with full size, I'll make back my loss plus, you know, more money on top. Puts me back into the... I'm still green on my accounts. I'm not in the... I'm still pretty green on I want to pass these accounts, these evaluations by the end of the month. Hopefully I can. Just price action is not giving me what I want. Look at that, it's starting to... So all it's really doing, it's rebalancing to the resistance and then just dropping from there. You can see it dump through here. Right? That's why it's not taking out those highs. I should have... So even from the start, right? It broke through this level. Right? Kind of came back up. Tested this level as resistance. Then it started kind of chopping around, right? And then once it broke through this level right here, right? Then you see price kind of pull up, trying to test it as resistance, start dropping down. So now we're breaking through this level. Now it can come back up, test this level as... So it's just like a classical just downtrend. I don't trade stocks. This is futures. So I can't even pull up. This is futures market, so I wouldn't even be able to pull up that if I wanted to. Oh man. You waiting for reversal off the 4 hour? I don't think I'm gonna... I think I'm done. I'm not gonna take any more. It's already 11 o'clock. So no, I took two small losses. I'm not up. Two small losses. Price action was not... It was not my... not for me today. Some days my strategy works amazing. Some days it's just like this where it just doesn't work. And you have to know when it doesn't work, when there's a small possibility, and you know, you just size down or not trade at all. But and then when it's really in your favor and price action is, you know, for your strategy, price action is good, then you just size up when you feel confident in the trade. But yeah, like, to put it in perspective, right? I'm down right now across 3 accounts. I'm down $300 across 3 accounts, and that was split up in between 2 trades. I normally, on one trade, I risk $500 on a good trade. So that $300 with one good trade gets eaten up, plus 200 profit. I'm waiting for a good setup. One of these days, I'm gonna get a good setup, and I'm gonna go in full size. Did you go straight to it, or did you try simulation before trying the real thing? I didn't do it the right way. I went straight to it, but you shouldn't do it. I lost money doing that. You should first start in a simulation, figure out a strategy, you know, trade it, make sure it works for you, make sure you understand it, and then go to an actual, like, prop firm or... But I would not go straight to like the thing, you know, with a prop firm. Or you want to waste as little money as possible. And when you're learning, you're going to lose. You're going to lose because you know, that's how you learn. You take losses, you learn from your losses. And that's just not when you're learning. That's throughout your whole time trading. There's no such thing as trading without taking losses. It's impossible. If you were able to figure out how to trade without taking losses, you'd be the richest person on earth. That's the hard part. We got to accept that we're going to lose. That's the hardest part of trading, for sure. And if people see, you know, the bad thing about social media is, right, you see traders, like, even me, when I go on even TikTok, right? When I go on TikTok, I don't remember the last time, even in lives, right? I don't remember the last time I saw somebody in a losing trade. Everyone's always up for some reason, a crazy amount of money. Like, doesn't work that way. Like, it's not possible. You're going to take losses. So it's figuring out how to manage those losses is what puts you really, you know, above everyone else, because nobody else knows how to manage losses, especially in the social media space. What people will do, they will take a loss, and then they will take a really good win, and then that's what all they will post. They'll only post their good win, and then all you see on their account is just all profit, profit, profit. You're like, holy crap, how is this person just consistently profitable? It makes no sense. But what they're doing is they're not showing you their losses. They're only showing you their wins. So it's like, it doesn't matter. You can take a bunch of wins, but if you don't know how to manage your losses, that one loss is going to wipe away every win you had if you don't know how to manage it. If you can't handle losses, how keep your wins? That's what you can't, and you got to think about it is when you manage your losses, you are protecting the money that you made, right? Trading is a big defense. Like, you're playing a lot of defense in trading, because when you make money, you want to be able to protect that money, not just give up the money, right? You make money and then what, you're going to just give it all back to the market? The key is, right, everyone can take winning trades, but not everyone can know how to take losses. And that's the secret to it. You gotta be able to learn how to take losses. Focus on your losses more than your wins even, because your losses hold the key. How am I gonna become, what can I do to keep my losses even smaller? Can I get out earlier, But look at all these levels. Like, price is just bouncing off the levels I have marked out. But obviously I'm not gonna take, because it's not giving me the... It's going to end up freaking just pushing up a little and then reversing like it's been doing. They have more than one screen. One takes so long and the... Do they do that? Maybe they do that. Because I always been wondering. I'm like, bro, how are they always just showing green trades? There's no way that they're freaking just always green. Like, it's not possible. Like, come on. They could be doing that, actually. I would feel like I don't know, I can't do that. I'd feel like a scumbag doing that. Like, just being like a fraud and just, And people, the sad part of trading and why you got to be careful, especially with social media trading, you know why they do that, right? They will only show you their greens, like you said, right? They'll have two screens and they'll just flip to another screen that's in profit, right? Because they want to sell their Discord. They want to be able to sell their Discord. Oh, it's $100 a month for my Discord, right? And then they get a bunch of people to join their Discord, and they make a whole bunch of money from Discord, even though they're not profitable trading. And they sell you their course, they sell you their Discord, they drive the Lambo, even though they've never made money ever in trading. But they have sold Discords. It's like, bro, how do you do that and not feel like the biggest scumbag of all time? I couldn't live with myself. Personally, I don't know, maybe I just have a conscience, but I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I did that to people. That's why I don't sell no Discord, I don't have no course, no nothing. The only thing I would do is just have like affiliate links. So if somebody does decide to use a prop firm to trade, right, then you can make money off affiliate. But that's like, that's not, you're not taking money from people, it's like, I don't know how traders do that. Like, a lot of traders do that too. Look at this move. As soon as I don't take the trade, it ends up moving really well. Same as you? What do you mean same as me? I don't sell anything. I'm not asking for any of your money. Bro, I don't have no Discord. I don't have no course. I don't have no nothing. There's nothing you can buy from me. Absolutely nothing. I sell cars for a living, so maybe if you want to buy a car, I'll sell you a car. Look at this move. As soon as I don't get it, as soon as I don't take the trade, the move happens. But I don't like taking entries off tiny gaps. But Look at that. Reversal. Oh, and I was, you know what's crazy? I was thinking this earlier. I was like, look at the 15-minute chart. I was like, the better entry, what I would love to see is this last one. Because remember I was saying these first, the fact that there's so many levels stacked on top of each other, I typically don't like to take it off the first. Oh, sorry. Can't even see that. See how many levels there were stacked on top of each other? I said this earlier. I typically don't like to take it off the first level because I don't know. It could come back down and take out the rest of the levels. It's exactly what it did today. So I should have waited like initially I was wanting to do. I was wanting to wait for that last level, right? There's pretty much this level right here is pretty much that last level that I had on my chart. So should have waited for that last level and then took the trade. And I would have been golden. So look at that, bounced off that last level, and I would have took profit at this right here. I would have took profit. So my risk would be very small, and my profit, right, would be way bigger. It is what it is. But what chart is this? This is MNQ, but it's NQ, Nasdaq futures. Would day trade make you quit your job? No. I don't care if I'm making $500,000 a month in trading. I wouldn't quit my job. The only thing that would change with me in terms of like job wise, if I made a lot of money in trading, the only thing that would change is I would, right, like I said, I buy and sell cars for a living. I would just buy more expensive cars to fix up and sell. That's the only thing that would change with me. But this whole misconception, listen, this whole misconception with trading, that trading can get you to the point where, you know, if you learn how to trade, you don't have to work a day in your life. You could just relax and go to the beach and just chill and go on vacations. And trust me, that's not what you want to do. Trading should be a way for you, like, if you don't like what you do, if you don't like your job, trading should be a way for you to get, like, to make enough money so you can do something you love, right? To make money, whatever that is. But I don't think anybody should just like not do anything. I mean, no trader really does that. You always need to work. In my opinion, I will never retire. Put it that way. Like, you should work a job. You should always have goals. You should have like nothing wrong with working. Where you need to work. I think working's good, but doing what you love to do. That's what trading should get you. To work a job that you love to do, that you enjoy waking up in the morning and, you know, like a side gig. Yeah, trading's like a side gig. No matter how much money you make, it should fund whatever you love to do. And it's like start another business or, you know, do something, whatever it is. But trust me, sitting and relaxing on vacation is not what you want. You're not gonna be in a good mental space. Vacations are good for a little bit and you have fun. But after a while, if you're living and you feel like you're living with no purpose, it becomes very like, you know, you start to get very depressed. It's not a good spot to be in. What you do for work? I buy and sell cars for a living from auctions. So I'm a car dealer. I have a dealer license to sell cars, but I do it all myself. It's not like I have some big business or something. And it's like, yeah, I trade in the morning, but guess what? After this, what am I doing? I'm not gonna go home and just sit and relax and do nothing. Like, after this, right, I'm gonna go eat, and then I'm gonna go start working on cars. I got cars I gotta fix up and get ready for sale. So I'm gonna be working all day. Yesterday I was working till 8 o'clock. It's like, and here's the thing, right? Owning your own business, people think like owning your own business, oh, you can make a lot of, you know, you can make a lot of money. There's a lot of opportunity, but you also work more. People have this misconception of owning your own business in the beginning, like, oh, I won't have to work a lot. I could just, you know, wake up whenever I want to. I don't have to work a lot. But in reality, like, the only benefit really of owning your own business is you do kind of like, you know, you have a little bit of free time when you want to work. You don't work less, but you get to choose when you want to work. If I want to go come at night and work, I can come at night. You know, if I want to sleep in a little bit, I can sleep in. But I'm not working less. Yesterday I was at work till 8 o'clock. So it's like, you know, it's not really, you're giving yourself purpose. That's very cool. Yeah, it's like everyone has a purpose in life, right? You just got to figure out what your purpose is. And you want to be able to do something that you provide value to society. That gives you, honestly, that really gives you a sense of like, you feel good when you can, like, for me, for example, like, a lot of car dealers have a bad reputation, right? I live up to, I like to provide good deals. I don't charge any dealer fees. I don't charge any BS fees that are associated with most dealers, right? So it's like, I try to get a car for a really good deal so that I can sell it to somebody else for a really good deal and they can have a car, right? Like a couple cars ago, I sold it. There was a kid that really needed a car and I sold him a car that I ended up getting for very cheap, right? I sold him a car with 22,000 miles for $3,000. That car will last him to 200,000 miles. He will get his money's worth out of that car. And that like provides you a sense of like, it feels good to be able to help someone out like that. But like job wise, whatever it is, like when you do something and you feel like you provide value to society, right? You feel good about it. You feel like you have a purpose. You know, you want to be able to grow to help more people. I think people say that because they like to do it. It doesn't feel like work. That's the only thing that justify them saying that. Like even here, but here's the thing, right? I like to work on cars. I do that for a living. I enjoy it. But it's not like I wake up every single day and I go, man, I'm so excited to go to work. No matter what you do in life, no matter how much you like it, right? As soon as you start doing it for a living, there's going to be days where you just don't want to work, but you have to force yourself to work. Even though I like working on cars, there are plenty of days where I have to force myself to work, where I just don't want to work. Same thing, you have basketball players, right? You have people in the NBA. I guarantee you, right, that they wake up, even though they're making millions and they're playing basketball, they're doing what they love to do. I guarantee you there are plenty of days where they wake up and they do not want to go to practice. They do not want to go, you know, play. It's like that. It's like that with everything, no matter what it is. You're not going to want to wake up every single day and want to do it. But it makes it a lot easier to force yourself to do something you already like to do. But that was a crazy tangent. But the whole tangent, that was the whole point of that tangent, was like, trading should not be a one-all type of thing where all you do in trading, you get to a point where all you're doing is trading and you're not doing anything else. I think you should always want to have multiple sources of income, personally. Are you selling or buying? I'm not doing anything anymore. I mean, I took 2 losses and then this last trade I would have made. You know, the funny thing is, if I would have took this last trade, I would have made back probably both of those losses. If I would have took, not really, one of those losses, 1.5. Man. My levels. Of course, the last level ends up working out. The first 2 levels don't work out. I take a loss, and then the last one ends up working. Woo! What core concepts do you need to know to be able to trade? For me, the way I look at the market, there's a couple of core things how the market tends to move, right? The market, first of all, likes to take out highs and lows, or some ICT traders call it liquidity, right? Whatever. Highs and lows, liquidity. So it takes out highs and lows, and it likes to fill imbalances. When you have certain imbalances in the market, and those are like gaps in the market, where, what's an example of one? Like gaps, kind of like, gaps like this. When you have a gap in the market, it likes to fill those gaps. And you have support and resistance, right? So old support levels become new resistance levels. So you have a support level, meaning price bounced right here. You've seen price bounce, right? Saw a big bounce right here. And then what happened when it broke that? That's called a support level. Once this support level breaks, a lot of times, not all the time, right? Nothing's 100%. But what did price do? It came back up and it tested this as resistance. So it rejected off this level because there's a lot of support. Now, it doesn't reject off it perfectly, but you can see it came back up and it kind of tested this area as resistance, and then it started moving back down. So now what it's doing, I said earlier, fills imbalances. We have an imbalance right there. Look at this imbalance. See that imbalance? Which is a gap. The candle high of this candle did not touch this candle low. So you have a little gap in the market where a lot of buyers stepped in and it left an imbalance right there. So price rejected. What did it do? Came back to this imbalance. Look, it tapped it perfectly and now it's going up. Now there's another imbalance right there. It could reject off that imbalance. So it's like, that's literally how the market moves. Is trading gambling? Does the market react to selling or buying movements? It's like gambling. I mean, listen, people don't say trading is gambling. Trading is a form of gambling. Everything in life is gambling. Even me, right? Like I said earlier, I own a car business, right? I buy and sell cars for a living. I buy and sell cars for a living. That's gambling. I'm literally buying cars from an auction that I have not seen. I'm taking a gamble on those cars. Do I lose money on some cars? Of course I lose money. It's a gamble. Every single, whether it's the restaurant business, every single business you do, everything that you take risk on in life, you're gambling because you don't know the outcome of it. So this whole misconception of trading isn't gambling. It is a form of gambling, but you are managing your risk, just like everything, just like in the car business that I have, right? I manage risk. The cars that I do lose money on, I don't lose a lot of money on those cars because I manage my risk. Same thing with trading. Trading, you just have to manage your risk. You have to play probabilities. You have to accept a loss because there's nothing 100%. Just like there's nothing 100% in business, there's nothing that's 100% in trading. You have to play probabilities. So you have to manage your risk. If you manage your risk, you can go a long ways if you manage risk. But if you're somebody who uses this and you trade and all you're doing is buying and hoping it goes up and not having any form of like risk management, not having any form of like, all right, I'm going to get out, having a stop loss, having a take profit, having a plan. If you don't have a plan and you're just willy-nilly buying at random areas and hoping it goes up, it's going to end really badly. That's what a lot of people do. But never saw it that way. Insightful. Yeah, it's people like to say, oh, trading's not gambling. Everything in life that you take risks, right? In order to make a lot of money in life, you have to take risks. Every single multi-billionaire, every single multi-millionaire has taken risks in life. They've essentially all gambled because they did not know the outcome. They didn't know that their business was going to end up being successful. In the beginning, they ended up losing money here and there. Elon Musk's business he almost went bankrupt. Both Tesla and I think it was SpaceX almost went bankrupt. He was gambling. He was taking a risk. So, but yeah. Everything, you just have to manage risk. That's the key to everything, is managing risk. When you do take risk, you manage it correctly. I lost 5 Apex accounts today because I didn't manage risk, was 1K away from passing them. Listen, that's a very common thing I hear. I've heard of people being like $100 away from getting a payout. They were already on their funded account. They were around $100 away from getting a payout, and they didn't manage risk and they blew their account. So it's like, so you lost 5 Apex accounts. Now, trust me, I've done that too. I've done that plenty of times. And that's why I'm patient. That's why I'm able to manage risk the way I do, is because that's happened to me so many times that I'm not willing to go through that again. Right? And so now you realize, like, if you would have just took a loss, if you had a plan, if you would have just took a loss, you would still have your accounts, and possibly tomorrow you could have just made back that money. There's always tomorrow. Like, the market's going to be open tomorrow. So there's no reason for you to try to, like, get yourself in a position where you blow up the accounts. You can always come back tomorrow. You can always make back the loss. But what you can't make back if you blow your accounts, then you just end up getting yourself into a spot where now it's going to take you a lot longer to, make that back. You think greed is what kills people here, metaphorically? I mean, greed, yeah, greed is also a big one, right? Greed is something that, and that's why you have to have a plan. You have to have a take profit, you have to have a stop loss. Now, you can have multiple take profits and kind of scale out. That's what some people do. I personally don't do that, but like, you have to have a plan. You have to have a stop loss, and you have to have a take profit or take profits, right? And what sometimes people do is they get greedy. They don't take profit, they don't take profit, they don't take profit, and what's going to happen? Price ends up pulling back, and they end up going into drawdown, and then they end up blowing their account because they got greedy, and they didn't want to, you know, price moves like a wave. Price goes up, price goes down. Price goes up, price goes down. That's why you have to take profit. Now, it doesn't just keep going up. People have this misconception that, oh, price is just going to keep going up. One day I'm going to catch this massive trade and I'm going to make freaking $1 million. It doesn't work that way. You have to have a plan. You have to stick to your plan. And that's it. What's your indicators? I really have barely any indicators. My indicators, I think I use indicators the way they're supposed to be used. Not like a lot of people. I'll explain it. Hold on. I like how clean your chart is. Also notice trend lines. Do you like to use support and resistance? Yeah, so about indicators and what I use, right? I just like to focus on price action. So have key levels. These lines that you see on the chart right here, these lines are key levels on the 15-minute time frame. That's why a lot of times you see, look at price. Look what price does when it gets to the line that I've drawn. And this is something I've drawn. This isn't an indicator. Price gets to that, look at the bounce off of that level. And then here, look at the kind of like buying pressure that steps in off these levels, right? Look at this. Price broke through. Look what happened when it got to that line that I drew. Look at that bounce off that line. And now look, it's bouncing off this middle line. The reason it's doing that is because if you go on the 15-minute chart, I have marked out major areas of like liquidity, or you could say these lows, right? There's a lot of buyers that stepped in at this level, as you can see. Also, these levels right here, right? Why do I have this marked out? A lot of buying stepped in at that level. So that's why you see all these kind of lows stacked, is because here a lot of buying, here a lot of buying stepped in, and then here a lot of buying stepped in. So these are just levels on the 15-minute chart where I see that a lot of buyers stepped in. So that now my theory is, what I want to see is when it gets down to those levels, I want to see buyers step in aggressively again. And then I can get into a trade and I can take a quick scalp. That's what I look for, essentially. But indicators, right? What a lot of newbies do is a lot of new people look for indicators as something that they can find this magical indicator that they can take trades off of. I used to try this too, right? I had view up, and price used to come up to view up, and I used to take a short just because price was at view up. And I was like, all right, let me try to catch this. Price is at view up. I'm going to go short. But indicators are meant to be used as like gauges in the market, right? So that I know, like, okay, if for example, I'm taking a long, say I was taking a long right here. I understand that we got the 200-day moving average right there. So I understand that if I'm in a long, I understand that price is going to have a hard time probably getting through this 200-day. So maybe I'm going to take partials. Maybe I'm going to scale out of my position, take full profits maybe here, right? Because I know. And so I just use indicators as gauges in the market. I have a view up on my other chart, and these are pivot points too, right? This R1 right here, these are called pivot points. I use pivot points as, right? A lot of times price likes to bounce off these pivot points, and these pivot points are calculated based on certain levels in the market. I don't trade off of them, but if I'm in a short and I see a pivot point down there, I'm potentially going to take profits before it hits that pivot because I know it can bounce off that pivot. So that's how I use them. Do you just focus on one chart, or do you have multiple monitors on different charts? I mainly focus on one chart. I do have a chart pulled up, but it's just like the only thing I have on this chart that I don't have here is the view up. So that's literally the only indicator I have. Everything else I have on this chart. And the other chart I have is the 15-minute, which is the same chart as is I can just switch to this 15-minute. So I could just switch to this, and it's the same 15-minute as that chart, but essentially it's pretty much just one chart. That's NQ futures, this is MNQ, which they move the same, but it's a little bit different because the contracts are a little bit different. It's a different size contract, but typically, I mean, they're moving the same. But yeah, the less things that can cloud your judgment, the better. Like, I don't want, you know, I don't want price to kind of cloud my judgment of, you know, not price, sorry. I don't want a bunch of indicators to start contradicting each other and like getting me out of trades when I shouldn't be out of trades. Bruh, I should, man, this trade. How is it the one trade that I don't take ends up being the perfect bottom, like the perfect trade to take? Bro, you can't make that up. You cannot make that up. I got stopped out twice for a small loss, right? I went half size. I tried to take an inverse on this one, right? It started inversing. I'm like, all right, maybe we can get a bounce off this level right here. I ended up getting out early before it stopped me out because it closed below the gap right here. Right? And I knew in my mind, I was like, I should probably wait for this last level because there's a lot of levels stacked. And I ended up getting long. Hold on, is that the... Where is it? 15 minutes. Let me see something real quick. Bro. No way did I just like... Bro. Where's that? Oh my gosh, that was dumb. You know why I took that loss? I should have never even got into that trade. My level, I don't know if I accidentally moved the line or something. I took that long. It never swept that level. There was no reason for me to take that second trade. For some reason, I had my line not drawn correctly. So I ended up getting into this trade when I shouldn't have even got into that trade. This was never an entry. You chased the high? No, I didn't chase the high. I mean, I see your point, but the thing that I should have never even took this trade. It never even swept this level. This level I had drawn, I don't know, maybe I moved it a little bit on accident and didn't realize it, but I thought it swept it, and that's why I took the entry for like a quick scalp, but this was never a trade. I should have never entered this trade. If I wouldn't have entered this trade, this was another trade setup that did work out. I don't like to take tiny gaps, but I would have been willing to take this trade off this tiny little gap because we swept this major level. The risk would have been super small, right? The risk to reward is amazing on this. I would have taken this, and then you get in right here, and my target would have been right before it hits this kind of like resistance level. Crap. This would have made back that first loss if I would have never taken that. That's my fault. That is my fault. I should have. Bro, I cannot. That's never happened to me before, honestly. That is wild. I moved it a little bit and it looked like it swept it, but when you actually adjust it correctly, it makes a double bottom and never takes it out. Man, that sucks. That really sucks. That hurts. That hurts. It is what it is. But yeah, I just I go by price action. That's what I like to focus on is probabilities. Bro, that's crazy. That makes me a little mad. Just cause like that wasn't, if it was my strategy and I end up getting stopped out, that's one thing. But if I took a stupid trade and because my level was not marked out correctly and I end up losing because my level was not marked out correctly, that hurts. That hurts really bad. That pisses me off. Because that's on me. That's just a stupid trade. That's me giving away money, pretty much. Bro, that's wild. Oh my gosh. It is what it is. It's fine. And the thing about it is, if I would have never taken this trade right here, if I would have never taken this trade, I would have probably potentially taken this trade right here, because the fact that I already had taken 2 losses, I wasn't willing to take a third trade. But if I wouldn't have took this trade, then I would have took this trade and I would have made back the money plus some on the first trade. So I would have been in profit instead of at a loss. Oh my gosh, it is what it is. You live and you learn. Next time I gotta be more careful about not moving my levels. Usually this doesn't happen because when it sweeps the level, it usually sweeps it pretty good. Like this right here. See how it swept the level pretty good? This like really just like double tap. It made a double bottom. I've been there. That's honestly, that's never happened to me before. Or it's happened, I've never realized that. Oh man. It is what it is. I mean, it pisses me off, but it makes me happy knowing that that wouldn't have been a losing trade. That was just my fault. And then but man, that's fine. All right, at this point, I mean, there's not much to. It's already hit all my levels, right? This was the last level I had marked out for a long. Sadly, I didn't take it, but below that, there's not much levels below that. Now we're kind of, I think we're pushing up to view op, so not really anything to trade here for me. So pretty much all my levels are gone. There's nothing else to trade. It's all done. And probably gonna end up walking away here. I gotta go eat, and then I'm gonna start working. But I'll be back tomorrow, so hopefully we get a little bit better price action tomorrow. But appreciate the follows, appreciate the likes. Stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. Don't blow your accounts. Please manage your risk. There's always tomorrow. You can always come back tomorrow. You can make back your loss. There's going to be more. Market's going to open tomorrow, you know. So you got to look at it on the long run. You want to make money in the long run. You could take losses here and there, but you want to be profitable in the long run. So I'll be back tomorrow. So yeah, stay safe. Peace out.